Hey MGTOWs, this is Vention. I'm finally got a day off again. I'm a big fan of days off. As you can see, my garden is in terrible shape. The, the grapes that I put up have wilted away, and now it's time to sweep up the mess and dump it in the compost container. Well, interesting news lately. Interesting news lately is that we've been seeing a lot of drops in the conventional financial system, the stock market, and we're also starting to see real estate unwind a little bit, and it happens just like clockwork. Every 7 to 10 years, the banks start raising interest rates. You know, it starts with the Federal Reserve, and they just and they basically pump the interest rates up, and then credit is more expensive, and then house mortgages go go way up, and then basically it's then people suddenly are underwater on their houses, and then they're forced to they either get rid of the house or sell it, or they stop paying and just keep living there. And eventually they lose the house, right? And what happens is every 7 to 10 years, the banks just raise the interest rates up, and then everything gets more expensive, and then businesses go out of business, and employers lay people off, and then the wealth that people have accumulated over the last 7-8 years of prosperity, in order to stay alive, they have to let go of a lot of those assets, stocks and real estate and cars and jet skis and quads. And for those of us who think a little bit more long term, we're able to have assets that are not as affected by the stock market or by the conventional markets, and we can profit from this. Like last time around, back in the 2008 recession, I saw that shit coming and I loaded up on silver, and then basically the recession hit, pushed the price of silver up, and then I was able to liquidate silver at 34 an ounce after it was coming off of its like $48 an ounce high. And then I was able to purchase this house. That my gains in silver became the down payment on this house. So I moved into out of an asset that was still really in favor, which was silver, and then moved into an asset that was like really out of favor, which was real estate at the time. And now it's the opposite, right? Silver is very cheap, and everybody hates silver. And of course, Bitcoins have come down a lot as well. We were at like 19,000, and now we're like at 6,300. And so I'm continuing to buy Bitcoins, obviously. And I'm getting ready. I'm sort of mentally disconnected from this place. I'm just sort of camping here now. But fairly soon, probably within 6 months or so, I'm going to dump this place and rent a place down in southern Washington, and just watch the big, huge, calamitous financial implosion happen, from a little distance, So basically, when we're in a situation like this, we want to be buying assets that are out of favor and getting rid of assets that are in favor. And basically now stocks are moving into the next big bear market. It sure looks like it to me. I'm just a diesel mechanic, but it sure looks like it. And you know, you saw the FANG stocks dropping, like Amazon and you know, the high tech, Microsoft, that things like that, and basically they're going to be continuing down, unless I miss my guess, and a lot of people who own those stocks are going to be hurting, and then real estate's going to be next, as people start losing their jobs, losing their houses, and people won't be able to afford as nice a house, even if they're still working, because the interest rates are higher. And then people will be underwater on their houses because the real estate market has dropped in value. And then they're going to say, well, shit, I can get rid of this place and not be completely underwater. So they're going to do that, and then that will cause real estate to drop even more, and then there will be a panic drop, just like we had in the 2008 recession, and then we'll have another big buying opportunity for those people who think a little more long term, right? If you own something that's outside of the conventional market, you know, like real estate, no, well, if you have paid off real estate, it's not as bad. But if you have silver, gold, bitcoins, and maybe a few of the other major cryptos, I suspect you will be looking really well in a couple years, like maybe 2 or 3 years. That's generally how long the big calamitous implosion takes. Like from 2008, it took all the way to 2012 for real estate to finally bottom out. And that's when I bought this house. So we're going to be having another opportunity like that coming up. Basically, so anybody who is thinking about buying a house, just don't do it. Just don't. If you're going to be buying stocks, I would stay far, far away from stocks. It's clear that the Fed is not buying stocks anymore and propping up this crazy Ponzi scheme. And the result is the stocks are going to be continuing down. I think the whole mess is going to bottom out right around 2012. No, I'm living in the past. It's all going to bottom out probably in about 3 years. And it's 2018, 19, 20, 21, maybe 2021. So then you'll be able to buy like motorcycles and pickup trucks and houses and stocks, and you'll be able to buy just tons of really valuable, awesome stuff really cheap. It's like that pickup truck of mine out there. I could probably get maybe 8 or 9 grand for it now, but for a while I could have gotten 12. But I bought it for 6 in right around 2010, I think. So basically, yeah, a guy, he got laid off of his job, and he took an early retirement and left the state, and he was like shedding assets for like pennies on the dollar. And those of us who have actual valuable stuff like silver, gold, bitcoins, we will be able to purchase those items, and it'll be like a flea market of awesome stuff, really cheap. So basically, I got a nice day off going here. The sun is shining. I think I'll compost those grape leaves. Maybe put some of my garden beds to sleep and cover them up, chop them down. Put the plants on the soil so that they can break down over the winter. I've also got some mole hills out here in the yard. I'm gonna take the hose and wash the hill down into the tunnel. It may not kill the mole, but it'll sure fuck his day up. And if I do that enough, they will get sick of it and go somewhere else. If you harass them enough, they'll go away. So that's the plan. Huh. It's shut up, Fran. Whoa. It's October, and I still got some pretty decent looking tomatoes on the vine. They're on their last legs though. Okay guys, I'm gonna let you go, and don't get married.